Hello, hello. It's been a minute. Make sure my stuff works. Hell yeah, brother. Love it. What's up, Wade? I don't know, man. I'm tired. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna try not to cough through this entire thing here. Come on, fan. There we go. It has been a minute. I haven't driven anything in like 2 weeks, which feels pretty insane, to be honest. All right, so I guess the first thing I need to do is decide what track to run to test this out. This is the schedule. Make sure this can be seen. Yep. First race in about a month. Complete ass. I'll believe it, dude. I believe it. Yeah, I literally haven't turned a real lap since my last league race. Banished to rookies. It's kind of the nice thing, you can't go back down, so you're stuck in the D's, buddy, or whatever you are. Alright, so let me think about this for a second. I need to pick a track. I'm gonna run some laps in each car. I'd like to keep all the conditions the same. I don't think it's really gonna be about lap time for me. I don't think it's gonna be that at all, actually. I think it's gonna be, I want to keep that. So Acura, Beamer, what are the other ones? Porsche and Caddy. Put this off to the side. Really just try to take some notes. See what car feels good for me. Be stuck in seed until the end of next season, both oval and sports cars. So what do you drive in C for sports cars? It must be like GT4s, right? Test drive. GTP. Starting with the Acura. All right, let's do static. And then that's just kind of whatever it is fine. Actually, track usage, where's that at? Let's go to 50. I think that's what most of the setup shops use. Track, man, I'm really not sure. So, okay, tire, Spa, Zolder, I don't even know Zolder. Yeah, GT4, Porsche Cup. I've wanted to do Porsche Cup, but I don't think I could handle it, man. What's up, Adam? How you doing, dude? I feel like Porsche Cup would be really good to do for a season. I've got to imagine it would have like a really positive effect on every other sports car that you could drive, honestly. But yeah. All right, so let's pick a track here. I'm gonna pick one of these. I'd like to pick one I'm really familiar with. So Zolder's out, Motorsport's out, Fuji doesn't matter. I'm not doing preseason stuff. Spa, Road Atlanta, Silverstone, I know, but not super well. Sebring, I know quite well. It's also super bumpy. I'm trying to think of some of the corners. Doesn't have a lot of fast corners. I guess the very last corner, yeah, I don't know, whatever. Interlagos, it's decent mix. Road America, they're all kind of the same. Suzuka, super technical at the start, probably not the best for this. I don't know. Some thought like to, but also not like to not do multi-class for a hot minute. Yeah, I mean, when Porsche Cup's pretty much your only shot, right? Is the, I didn't realize that GT4 was multi-class. Is it multi-class only? I didn't know that. I've never driven GT4, so I wouldn't know. That's for sure. All right. Let's just go for Atlanta. It just keeps, it speaks to me. Atlanta full. Doesn't have a lot of fast. Well, I guess the first corner. Might have to use the baseline setup too, because I don't know if they've been there recently. I could actually play into this a little bit. All right, so focus is getting a feel. It's really not about speed. It's mostly about the feel, how it feels to drive. I don't know these things at all. I've driven, gosh, I've driven the Porsche very little. I've driven the Cadillac the most. And I don't have any feel for it at all. So this might just be a complete waste of time, honestly. I might be so bad at these cars that it's nearly impossible for me to judge them. Let's see if there is a set. So I guess if there's a set for one, there should be a set for all of them. There is not. So I guess we can go with baseline. There's one for Interlagos, of course. IMO, do not. Let's just do baseline. Maybe that's the right way to go with this. Well, not baseline, fixed. Or should I just do like high downforce? What's the difference actually? It's the downforce levels. That's the thing, man. I don't know these cars at all. Rear wing is 10 degrees. That's high downforce. No. 10 degrees. Okay, let's just do fixed. It'll be the most fair, I would assume, across all the sets. I don't understand the settings. I don't understand any of this shit, so just gonna roll with it. It's not exactly multi-class, but it's all just one car to. But it's all just one car to choose from. Interesting. Oh, I know what you mean. So like picking a car, driving something where there's a bunch of different options, I guess. Got your Geo needs, hey, new equipment day's the best day. Yeah, he's fine, man. He was a little, kind of as you'd imagine, a little emotionally shaken up, but physically fine, and hopefully a good lesson learned with, I guess, minimal consequences. That's a whole different story, I guess. All right. Can't hear you. Oh. Better? God, it feels so freaking small. It feels weird. I feel like I'm in like a little capsule. My oldest was driving home from school and got into a car accident. He rear-ended the shit out of a little Toyota Tacoma. I mean, the front end of his car is totaled. The Tacoma took like no damage at all, which blew my mind, honestly. All right, let's see this bad boy. Looking sweet. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. He's 16. He's only had his license full time since like February. It's like, fuck. So, yeah, it's, you know, it's one of those things where obviously you always go through phase one. It's like, let's make sure homeboy's okay, you know, make sure everybody's all right and nobody was injured and all those things in any capacity. Great. But then, you know, you put on dad hat, right? And you're like, well, I just paid like 13 grand for this 4Runner about 10 months ago. It's gone. I already paid a shit ton of money in auto insurance for, you know, my vehicles plus a 16-year-old child. So yeah, I'm a little frustrated, as you might imagine. They wise up real quick. I'm hoping so. I talked to him a little bit about it, like just kind of telling him I hope this is just an opportunity to have learned something. Yeah, it sucks the car's gone. Yeah, it sucks to have been involved in it and all those things, but nobody was hurt. You know, it's like best case scenario basically. So not great, not what you hope for, but I don't know, man. I guess you got to learn it. I've not been in that situation myself personally. I've never done that, so I don't really know, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, dude, it's honestly wild. Like, I guess just the front end of that thing is very much designed to just crumple, like hardcore crumple. Because the front of it looks like you hit a fucking tank. Like, honestly, the front, there's a picture of it in my Discord, but the front of the 4Runner literally looks like you hit a tank. And then you look at the back of the Tacoma's old as shit. So like the 4Runner is an 08. I bet that Tacoma can't be, it's probably about the same, maybe a 08 to maybe to a 10, something like that. So it's relatively old. And I mean, the bumper on that, at least covers the far, yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, this one was not. But anyway, the bumper on that Tacoma, man, like, I don't think it was bent very much, you know, like it held up really well. Little bit of coloration from his silver vehicle to the back of like this green bluish, you know, truck. A little bit of color on the back on the tailgate, but it had like shit. I had it like a tow hook to it, you know, and I didn't have the ball or joint or anything in it, but it was just a tow hook, and I think that thing did a lot of the real damage, honestly. But yeah, lucky, unlucky, just annoying, honestly. More than anything. Just got a new truck this week. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Love it. I bought my first truck maybe like a year and a half ago now. It's like, I don't even know how I've lived 40 years prior without having a truck in my life. The convenience of a truck is simply unbeatable. So, all right. I was trying to take a look at the cockpit settings just to make sure we're in a good spot. It feels weird to be sitting in something that feels like a little capsule, man. But excuse me. What's up, Dave? How you doing, buddy? Still going over a slick bridge, running into the curve, like the whole race suspension. Jeez. Yeah. Hey, at least you were in snow. You know. His was just, I think he was following too close, and to his credit, I mean, where this happened is kind of like a notorious little spot around us, and he was just following too close. She slammed on the brakes because people were braking checking and stuff ahead, and he slammed and they didn't rip up that great, I guess. Alright, so no feel for tire temps, because I can't see the freaking wheel. I don't even know if it's on the wheel. God, one, I haven't driven in 2 weeks. Two, this is very different. I do feel like I'm looking at the ground. My little shift light up here is way off too. Also forget no ABS in these cars. Wow. Traction control, thankfully. ABS, not so much. I gotta fix that shift light. It's way off. God, dude. Brain's not processing this fast enough.
You cut that corner and got a slow down penalty.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was actually thinking about not working tomorrow. Kind of having a little 4-day action myself, honestly. Braking feels so strange in this car. You're just going so much faster. I did enable 360 Hertz mode recently too. Something I want to try to get used to before the new season starts. Good grief.
Slow down. You got a penalty? We're cutting the course.
Wish I could see tire temps. Guessing second gear is not really a thing. What you guys been up to the last 2 weeks? I feel like I've been gone a while. It's weird. I feel like I'm sitting on the nose of this car. It's the first time I made that corner. Uh-oh. Car around this track seems a little aggressive. Beef, man. This is going to be an interesting experiment. I hope this doesn't screw up my GT3 braking I've been working on for half the year, it feels like. It's got traction control, but it feels like it wants to go right through it, like every time. have no concept for what a decent lap time is around here. I'm sure I'm not close to it. But again, really not about lap time. Just want to get a feel for these cars a little bit and see if one kind of gravitates.
.067. New fast flat for you.
Things are happening a lot faster in this car. I can only imagine how insane it would be to have GT3s over here too. Man. Lack of ABS is really gonna hurt. I feel like I'm sitting too damn close to the wheel. Making you dizzy, like actually. Can you imagine driving something like this at a place like this? Man. There's like no room for error at all.
You got a penalty for cutting the course.
Car sounds very funny to me. I don't even know how to put my finger on it. Definitely doesn't feel bad. Braking like too late there. .17. I genuinely feel like I'm sitting on the nose of this car. No, I have them all. I'm just doing test drives with each to figure out what I want to drive next season in this league. Or maybe find that I made a massive mistake in signing up for it in the first place. That's totally viable as well. I feel like I'm going twice as fast as a GT3 car. Obviously it's not true. Guessing I need to be getting much harder in the brakes, taking advantage of the downforce. But I've been trying to break that daggone habit for so long. Trying to get a sense of the wheel. I really do wish I could see more of the wheel. Right on the brakes. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of my fear. It's like, I spent so long trying to break that F3 braking
10,
pattern.
274.
And I'm basically just reintroducing it. Shoot. And like, I don't have a feel for, you know, I don't want to stay in a higher gear and coast through some corners. Ooh. Just don't have a feel for it at all. It's gonna take some practice. Only time I've ever really driven this car is at Daytona. Not the specific one, but the GTPs in general. Does feel good though. Getting the hang of it.
10.9.
And honestly, just being out of the sim for the last 2 weeks. Really flirting with traction control here. At that corner in this car is crazy. I guess second gear makes sense there, huh? I'd love to find a reference lap. Maybe in VRS I can find like an older season's lap to compare against. I honestly wish that it was LMP2 and GT3s. I would enjoy that so much more. Man, you can really floor it through there, huh? Everything else is looking sharp, and I blew it. All right, I'm gonna try another lap or another car after this lap. Jeez. I swear, man, after driving, I feel like you drive this thing for an hour and then drive a GT3 car, you're gonna feel like you're driving in slow motion, man. It's like, holy shit, this is quick. Alright, so you know what I have to say about this. I'll put my fastest lap just for some kind of reference. I don't have a whole lot to say, honestly. I'm just going to use the lap time for now. Just take a couple notes here and help me figure out what I like, what I don't like. Make sure. Oh my god, the track temp was 45 degrees. Well, that's not super helpful, is it? If I would have done that, I guess I need to do that with all of them. Honestly, dude, yes. Like my brain is trying to process this way too quickly. See how the Beamer feels. Now, this is obviously the first GTP they released. I don't know that I've ever driven it in a race. I'm sure I have somewhere along the way, but I don't remember. If I did, it would have been when it like first came out, you know, way back when. Way back when. What, a year or so ago, maybe? I don't know, actually. Alright, not baseline. We're going to go with fixed. 17 degrees. Now that's strange. Huh. Is that actually? Rear wing angle 17 degrees and the Acura was 10. And that's also the fixed. Also going to be really curious to see what like an actual setup feels like in these cars, you know? I'm sure that's going to change things quite a bit. Alright, so at least view-wise it feels the same. I do feel like I'm sitting too close. I'm sure that's pretty realistic though. I bet you this... Well, look, I've seen in real life, I've seen an LMP3 when we were at Daytona. And it literally does feel like this, well, I wasn't sitting inside the car, but it definitely has this like coffin vibe to it. I mean, there's just, it's tiny. It's tiny. So actually this probably is pretty real in terms of how claustrophobic it feels. Can't see shit out the side. There is a mirror over there, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be very useful. Oh my god. I feel like I'm sitting on the ground. Okay. Strange. Feels very different. I don't like the
They say you cut the course. You'll have to slow down.
I don't like the dash. Well, like, at least in the Acura, it felt like I was able, like, I don't know, like there was no nose, it was just like straight down. I don't like this. Feedback is way heavier. Alright, now I have something to compare the other one to, I guess. Sounds cool. Sounds like a race car. Force feedback is much heavier. I have to learn so much, like how many laps does it take for the tires to come in and all that sort of stuff. I guess the tires are just cold because that front end does not want to turn. I do feel like I can see out of the right side of the car a little bit better. Huh. We got team liveries for all of them, so that's not a factor, thankfully. I mean, just to be fair, the default pick here is the Cadillac.
093.
Pretty much right on that fastest time immediately. Oop. I like that extra feedback. I mean, I'm sure I can get that in any car by simply upping my feedback. Wasn't good. I do like the sound. For some reason, I don't feel like I'm going as fast in this car as I was in the Acura. Like, sense of speed is not the same. And I don't know if it's because the Acura is the first time I've been in the sim for 2 weeks, and the first time I've driven a GTP in a while. Could be that. Feels very raw. There we go. So you better be green. I hate that I can't see the wheel. I love having, like, the Corvette wheel I think is really good. Lots of it. The Porsche wheel I think is the best on GT3 world. You just have so much information available. Tire temps, lap times, deltas. Wow. Way faster. I feel like it's too much feedback. Like lifting weights, trying to drive the car. Probably need to hit that upshift paddle a little faster. This feels good. I like this a lot. I like this better than the Acura. A little lower on the force feedback. Rip. I like the way it sounds. Still not 100% sure on the visibility straight ahead. I don't know why the right side feels more open to me, but it does. I need to go back to the Acura and do that again. Jesus. These lockups are ridiculous.
Cut the course. You gotta slow down and give up that time.
That's gonna suck. I feel like that's gonna be half my races the first season. It's just gonna be like a lockup city. We put this in so y'all can see it. It's great. High feedback detail. Probably need to turn it down. Dash. Feels high. 2, 3, 12. 0. Right side feels more open visually. What else did I say? Transparent HUD would be nice. What do you mean, transparent HUD? Let's see what else is in there. It really did sound good. Felt good. Everything about it felt good. Felt better to drive and Acura. Again, you know, fixed setups. So, really knows. All right. Let's do the Porsche. I guess you should be judging them based on looks as well. That does matter. At least to me, to some degree. Obviously fast and safe and all that stuff is more important, but you know, hey, once you start getting to the end of it, what does it sound like? What does it look like? And I already know I love the way the Cadillac sounds, so it's got a leg up just for that. Alright, Porsche, fixed. 17 degrees in the Porsche, interesting. I have to go back. I gotta do the Acura again. AM, gonna be the prettiest one. AM, what's AM? Yeah, I gotta go back to the Acura when we're done. And take a look at that wing, because all the others have had much higher. Oh, good call, man. Yeah, Aston definitely. I'd love it if they did the Lambo. Although I don't know that that really works in IMSA. I don't know if they're in IMSA or not, but I know they're in WEC. Wow, so this is interesting. So on both sides in the Porsche, and you can't see it. You can see it a little bit, I think, over here. No, over here. You can't see the bottom of the, like, the base of the car is not there, which is really strange. You would think these cars would all be damn near identical visually. Make sure I don't have any custom settings for anything. Nope. Okay. No custom settings. Weird little antenna right there in the middle. Not sure what that's all about. Porsche. I don't remember driving much of this. So this has kind of that same dash feel as the Acura did. The wheel wells feel massive in this car. Whoa. It's crazy to me too how the force feedback feels so different in these cars. I guess the Porsche is relatively new. BMW's the old one. Dodge told them no. Trying to take a Puga. Put the Dodge emblem for IMSA. Good grief. That's unfortunate. It feels much faster. I don't mean like actually speed, just like sense of speed much higher. Pretty high force feedback as well. Feels good though. Little slide. Honestly, I think even if I suck at all these cars this season, it's going to be fun. Just because I'm going to be the fast car in a multi-class series. All under the same company. Interesting. Yeah, makes sense. That felt quite good.
.941.
Does sound good. God, the curves. Curves hurt. Probably at some point need to find somebody that really knows these cars and pick their brain a little bit. Yeah, I think it will be a fun learning experience. It might be really frustrating, if I'm honest, but I think it'll be fun. It's 4/10 doing that. Damn, half a second.
10.183.
Force feedback is just way too high for me. It's fine for a couple laps or whatever, but there's no way I could run it this high in a hour race. Really hate that I can't see relative or any of that stuff on this wheel.
Just set your fastest lap of the session.
Why did I go to? This is Road Atlanta. Just doing a little bit of testing, trying to pick a GTP car to focus on in my league next season. So last season I did a league, it's kind of IMSA, I call it IMSA, but it's just GTPs and GT3s. And I drove the GT3 car, and I thought for the next season I would run the GTP car for a challenge. Not like the GT3s weren't enough of a challenge to begin with, but just to shake it up a little bit, I thought I'd give these a try. So, trying to get through all of it, a track that I know decently well, and just kind of understand the characteristics of each car, and just pick one to focus on. Whew. I do wish it were LMP2 though, not gonna lie. I think 4th is fine there. So good at that corner. I do like this. But I think we're about to find the car in the next one. It's insane how close you are to just ending the race every time you go into a hard braking zone.
9.402.
Yeah, this also just way too high. Way too high on the force feedback. I mean, I would just rip my damn arms off by the end of a race. Can't do it. 108 or 109. 74. Let's see, what thoughts do we have here? It's funny I'm getting faster with every one. I don't think that's the car. I think it's just literally me getting more comfortable with it, of course. We'll certainly take that into account. Like I said, it's really not about the lap time. It's kind of about everything else. Let's see. So heavy force feedback. Dash was good. T. Acura. All the cars have felt balanced to me so far, so nothing really there to say. Definitely felt fast. Good sense of speed. Maybe too much. Of course, it looks awesome too. So we should have been looking at some of these replays. Car just looks sick. I really do think that these cars are just going to be too fast for my little brain to handle. For sure. Look at a race situation. Racing these wheel to wheel, I can't even imagine. Looks good. Sounds good. Alright, speaking of sounding good. Cadillac time. This one I've driven the most. It's been a while. But most experience in Caddy. Only because I've driven it in the 24 Hours of Daytona. I actually don't think it looks as good as the Porsche. But it sounds better than all of them. Easily. Let's see if my memory is what I think it is. I can't believe I've been streaming for almost an hour already. Holy shit. Time flies, man. And I know it used to be like the Acura Cup, and that there really were no other choices to be made. But I feel like I've read that they have nerfed the shit out of the Acura to the extent that it makes sense to be able to drive something else. 17 degrees. Okay, I gotta go back and look at the Acura after this. Because it definitely... Oh, interesting. So this front end, this dash looks more like the BMW. So not as great visibility. Which I'm guessing that means the sense of speed is not going to feel quite as high, which could be a good thing, honestly. Interesting. I feel like I am like way up in front of the car. I just don't know if that's right or not, you know? I feel like I want to click it back like half a foot. You do sound good though. Let's go. Oh my god. Feels like a lot of car in front of me. Well, we know which one wins on sound. Whoa. More brake. Brake.
You cut that corner and got a slow down penalty.
Much lighter force feedback. I wonder if I have a special... Let me look at that while I'm thinking about it, because I have driven this car before. Yeah. All right, let me reset it. Make sure we're on equal terms here, because I do have custom controls for this car. Yes. Everything else is set to 65. Just for even comparison here. Everything's, all the battery deployment's been in balance the entire time, so nothing there. Old tires, boy. I'll tell you one thing I'm gonna hate in this car is the freaking rain, man. Like I said, I have no sense at all for how to bring the tires up, how long that takes. Like nothing. But if it's got anything going for it, it is the sound. That's for sure. Remember to stand for. Ben, I appreciate you. It's all good, man. Figured tonight, just trying to do a little something since I haven't been around since the league's finished. All good, man. But I appreciate you. Really do. See if I can get into the groove of this car. Wow, man, that back end must have come around on me. Oh, I know you did. Gotta stay in fourth there. I gotta be honest, I'm not liking this. Come on, turn. Doesn't feel as crisp as the others. I wouldn't put a whole lot of anything in between the other three cars. This feels different. I'm gonna go back to the Acura after this and just see what it feels like after I've driven all the other cars. Locked up. Shouldn't have looked up at the track temp there. Really? I wonder why. I wonder if it's because the interior, there's just a lot more interior and you can see the wheel wells really well in this car. It's bouncing around a lot. Shifted too early. I was going to go through that. This seemed to handle the curves a little bit better. Of course, setup and all that matters quite a bit, but I'm literally just using fixed, so. Probably should have gone to a track that was on the schedule this season, so I had to set up for all 3 cars, but so be it. What is that thing called? I don't like this car, guys. That's really disappointing. I'm not getting on with it. I'm gonna try the Acura real quick. What is this thing called? It's like the QRT XL. Can't see it. It's too low. I think it's the QRT XL. If you'd asked me like a couple months ago, I would say no, I hate it, don't buy it ever. It's grown on me. Maybe literally, but it's grown on me. I think the reality of it is it's one of those things where it's a bucket seat, so it's hard. You don't get a lot of padding for the tush, you know. I think the reality is if you get it, you're probably going to want to replace the padding. I actually took the padding from my old seat, like the bottom, I don't know what to call it, but the part you actually sit on in the bottom. I took that out and just stacked it on this one, so I got 2 of those, and it's just not comfortable. I don't know what else to say. It's not comfortable. It's really thin. The padding that's in there is just kind of shit. Truth of the matter is you probably want to get like memory foam, like a memory foam pillow or something, cut it up, and then replace all the padding inside of this thing with that. And that's something I need to do. I haven't done it yet, but it's not that comfortable. It looks really cool. It feels good. I mean, you definitely feel like you're in it, but it's like I'm not moving around much. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's definitely looks. It's definitely not function, and it's a race car seat. So even though it's not classified, this is not the FIA certified one, like, you know, it's still as uncomfortable as I would expect one of those to be, if that helps. So for what it costs, I would say it's definitely not worth it. I would try to find something else, to be honest with you. Little padding on your, yep, lumbar, yep. It's a little small and squeezes my shoulders in the wrong place. Yeah, that's a tough thing too, you know, we're all built differently, so it's just like, it's just depending on how your torso is shaped and all the things, it's going to fit some people perfectly and some people not so perfectly. Even if you're the same height and the same weight, you could just be in different places, you know what I mean? And I'm short. Well, I'm 5'9", I'm normal, and I'm not a small human in the midsection. So for me, it's not a big deal at my weight, but it's just not comfortable. And like you mentioned with lumbar support, man, I actually got one of the I don't know what it's called, but it's basically like a pumpable lumbar thing. So I strapped it to the seat, and that was actually pretty awesome. But the blow up piece to it broke within like a week. So that was pretty good when I could get it, you know, when it was working, because you could dial it into just the pressure that you wanted to like feel like you're in there. And that helped with the lumbar piece, but it definitely did not help with the tailbone. And I've tried a couple things. I've gotten like a really thick like cushion to sit on, and then that just fucks you up in different ways, because then all of a sudden you're like 3 inches taller than you know designed the whole rig to be. And yeah, if you can't tell, I've had some issues with that recently. I've gone down the gauntlet trying to figure it out, and I think the play is memory foam, and I just need to do it. I need to buy one and cut it up and figure it out. But place yours with a cheap seat. Yeah, I need to, honestly, what I wish I could get an F-150 seat like for my truck and mount it right here, because that would be incredibly perfect. So are you declined quite a bit? Declined. Took me 2-3 months to get comfortable on my rig. I've got it I call it inclined, I guess. So I'm leaning back. I basically have the bolts set in such a way that I'm leaning as far back as it allows me to. And my feet are up. Like my feet are up quite a bit. I'd say my heels maybe are just a little bit lower than my butt, if that makes sense. I'm not trucker style. I'm not Formula One style by any stretch, but I'd say it's pretty close to a typical GT3 style. So they are, my heels rest a little bit lower than my butt is, but it ain't much. Maybe a couple inches at most. So, all right. Best sound, but kind of hated it everywhere else. And I'm sorry, let's do this correctly. And I'm shocked by that. I really didn't like this at all. It was really unfortunate. And it's funny, it actually wasn't slow. But yeah, we got the same setup then. Nice, look fine. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm honestly, the more I do this, the more I'm like feeling like I made a mistake by signing up for GTPs instead of the GT3s. It'll be fun. I gotta tell myself that it's gonna be fine. It'll be fun, but I'm a little anxious. Let's go back to the Acura. Let's try that bad boy out one more time. Now that I've run a couple laps here, how's it gonna feel when I go back through and do some of these cars again? And I've got to remember to check the wing angle in the Acura, because I thought it was 10 with the fixed setup and all the others were 17. I don't know what's up with that. Also got to fix the force feedback. It takes a lot of time to get used to GTP, primarily related to, took a few weeks to feel good. Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I think it's going to take me a while for sure. Wow, 10 degrees, and that's the max. So rear wing angle 10 degrees is the max in the Acura. The other three were 17. It seems like a huge difference. But yeah, the only time I've ever driven this car, well, any of these cars, I guess, was at Daytona 24. So let's go to 72, because that's what I had the Caddy at. Yeah, this feels more claustrophobic, and I don't know how well it plays on the stream, because I've got the ultra wide, but like this A-pillar is like all up in my shit. I can actually, I wish you guys could see this, but between my monitor, where the monitor ends in the center, and the A-pillar, there's actually a sliver of like window. Like the A-pillar is that aggressively in on this car, which I don't like. Feels very claustrophobic. Very strange. And I don't know what it is about the shadows in iRacing, but like literally looking at the right side of the car, it looks rusted. It's like everything's rusted out. It's weird looking. Yeah, I'm gonna struggle this season GTPs. I feel like that's a given. But I think it'll be fun to watch. God, this looks so different. I feel like I'm looking down. No turn. Is this thing turbocharged? I feel like I heard a little whine there. Definitely feel like I hear some turbo lag there. I don't think I like how far I'm looking down. Really get a sense of speed in this car for some reason. Feels like it's understeering like crazy. It's also 45 degrees, but Lockups are going to be absolutely brutal. I know I can do something with the active pedal to put some kind of vibration in there. It almost mimics ABS. I'm not going to do that. I don't think I'll do it, but I think you can do something like that with these cars. To kind of help you understand when you're getting to the... Jesus. Thought I was going to get right through that. I don't feel like it's turning in quite that well. Jeez.
They say you cut the cord. You'll have to slow down.
They would be correct. Come on. Slowdown system in this game is so fucked. So I would say so far my favorite is the Porsche. I don't know why I can't slow down for that corner. Fun, I'm not sure if fun's the word. It'll be awesome for the people who don't flat spot the tires, that's for damn sure. But that's, I mean, that is a needed change. I think it would really change the game in open wheel. There's really no penalty for just going in and, I mean, other than losing some time. Just absolutely torching your tires. Jesus. But yeah, I think we have different definitions of fun, Brandon. I'm sure there's a pretty big penalty in tire temps. Yeah, for sure.
10.996. That was your fastest lap of the session.
They are fun to drive though. No clue it's gonna be like to race. God, I felt like I'd slowed down way too early there. Still not quite enough. I think this is gonna benefit the person that can just handle the sense of speed, man.
New fastest lap for you.
Back, first GTP race blew a tire from locking up. Holy shit, really? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. As soon as you go past like what, zero left, it'll blow up on you. Alright, so second pass, a little better. Nothing crazy. Sliding everywhere. Here. Too slow corners. Came. Hates me. What else, man? Oh, not a huge fan of the visibility. Go back to the Porsche. It just felt the best. How did this one look? Making use of most of the track, at least, you hope. It's so funny. I feel like I should say, emphasize, I feel like I'm braking really gently like I would be in GT3s. And I'm not hammering this thing and taking advantage of as much of the downforce that exists. Although I don't know, man, that brake looked like a more triangle. Huh. Have to look at some telemetry to figure that out. I do think these things will speak to me a little bit more than a GT3 does. Just because of the downforce and because of the brake application. Oh boy, 100%. It looks pretty good. Looks like I know what I'm doing. Let's see, what did that look like? Looking at the brake trace. Okay. Alright, not bad, not bad. Where's the Porsche? I think the Porsche looks the best too, personally. Give this thing a couple more laps. I'm not making a decision tonight. I think, obviously, any seasonal changes that come out next week might have some kind of impact here. But, man, I definitely need to do a little bit of research. I know, like I said, I know the whole Acura Cup thing was a thing, but I do feel like that's changed. I feel like these cars are much closer than they used to be. And if that's true, we still at 72. Yes, we be. So I do remember. So now kind of getting in here for the second time. This A-pillar is aggressive, but at least it's a little bit more to the left, and it's not like it's basically splitting the where the monitors come together, so that makes more sense. I still hate the fact that I can't see anything on the wheel, basically, or anything relevant. Definitely feel like you're laying on the ground. Oh, what's up with 2 antennas and a windshield wiper?
We expect these conditions to continue.
A very miserable wind screen wiper here. Tires are cold. Just remember that. I do feel like I can see that apex so much better in this car for some reason. It does feel a little easier to correct things in this car, or this specific car too. Some of the others I've just felt like once it goes, it's gone. Ooh. Wow. Thought we were gonna fly for a second. Then I thought I saved it. Did not. Feedback might still be too high. Jeez. I don't want to like bring the Corvette out here real quick and just see the difference in speed. I think it's pretty clear this one feels the best to me. I don't even think it's close, honestly. Thought the Cadillac was going to be the winner here. Sounds awesome. This one resonates with me for some reason, and frankly I don't know why.
8.793.
First car in the 8s. I thought that was going to be a good one. No, I definitely don't think they're worth the price. I feel like I'm like dooming on you tonight, man. I don't. I think they're super cool. The whole ABS thing, in my opinion, is overblown. It's cool, but it's not a game changer, in my opinion. And that's from somebody who pretty much just drives GT3s. They're cool. They are really cool, but at the price point, like, nah, I don't think so. To me, what I've found to be most useful with those pedals is the ease of adjustability. Like, it is really convenient to just go in there and be able to change almost anything in software and see the impact in real time, you know? Yeah, they are. I mean, I have one for brake and for throttle, and they are super customizable. You can basically do anything with them, like I said, in real time in the software, and that's huge, but is that worth that price point to you? And that's super subjective. The advice I've always given people with that question is, if you have some serious disposable income, go for it. But I don't think it makes you faster or anything like that. I have teammates of mine that race with stuff that's not active pedals and they kick my ass, so it's not a cheat code by any stretch of the imagination.
9.807.
Yeah, I came from the sprints myself. This feels so much better. Yeah, I feel you on the always looking upgrade thing. I would honestly say, man, like, sometimes the grass just isn't greener, honestly. There's some really great choices you can go with away from the sprints. The sprints are good, for sure, but there are much better pedals out there. One that's really popular on my team is the VRS pedals. Of course, the the Ultimates are also very popular in my group, and people just love those pedals. Certainly the Simucube stuff's going to be popular too, but is it, I mean, what, 3 or 4x the price? I don't think so. So one will cost maybe 800 to 1100 besides for the 400 pedal set. Yeah, I'm cool with 1K or so for the ease of adjustability, customization. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah. At 1K, I mean, it really is super convenient. Like, I can literally pop this thing up right now and change basically everything on the fly. And it's awesome. But, you know, is it worth $2 grand a pedal? I don't think so. Probably shouldn't count that 8, but I'm going to, because why not? 793. So feedback's better. I didn't feel that sense of speed quite so heavily that time. Feedback is fixed, but I think that was a pretty common problem amongst all of these cars. Anything to go back and try? See if we can get another lap in the Porsche in the 8s. I think that would be pretty sweet. I feel like I'm way more connected to the ground with this Porsche for some reason. I feel like the Acura was sliding all over the place, and again, we're still at 45-degree track temp. But the Porsche just feels really good. It feels very hooked up to me. But yeah, it's also so hard to give people advice on equipment stuff. I mean, you know, it's super subjective. But I would say if you're looking to upgrade from the sprints, man, like consider the HE Ultimates, consider the VRS. VRS pedals. I mean, you know, Moza did 700 per active. Look if they would corner the market if they're good. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think that's the thing though, like, is the Moza active pedal going to be the same quality, the build quality, the software quality, I mean, if there's one thing you can say about Simucube, it's quality. And that comes to the wheelbases, the software, and the Simucube, the Simucube 2. I mean, they're just, I don't want to say it out loud for fear I want to mess my stuff up, but they're just bulletproof, man. And same with the pedals. Like, I don't think I've ever heard of anybody have an issue with any of the electronics or any of the hardware at all in any Simucube base ever. And I've known a lot of dudes that have a Simucube 2, Sport, Pro, Ultimate, whatever. Not to say that I've heard a lot of negative things about Moza or Acetec or any of those. I've definitely heard a lot of bad stuff about Fanatec, but they're also the biggest on the market, so just naturally you're going to hear more negative stuff about them, I think. But then you got to justify, you know, you have to factor in the price and all that into it too. So are they worth $2 grand a pop? I don't think so. But I mean, I didn't send them back, so that says something. God, lockups, man. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get used to that. He was great, not the wheelbase, stiff 2 mezzos, so we could actually was probably minuscule. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, man. Have they actually said that their pedal's going to be under $1,000? Is that what y'all are saying? $700-800 bucks? I mean, you know you're paying the no price. You know you're paying the
the tax to have a Simucube active pedal right now, like no doubt about it. You're paying for research and development costs, like I totally get that. So what their real price will be at some point, you know? I wonder. Is it gonna be 1,500 bucks, 1,200 bucks per pedal? Because I feel like if it is, you think about it this way, like if they come down into the range where like say a Moza wheelbase versus a Simucube wheelbase, if it's that same kind of price difference between the active pedal and then the Moza active pedal, I think a lot of people are going to go for the Simucube one just because it's Simucube.
9.931.
But since they were early to market and all that stuff, they had the ability to charge whatever they wanted to recoup costs as much as possible. And crazy ass people like me bought them. But I am really happy with it. So note, your question was, are they worth it? My answer was no. But if your question was, am I happy with them? Absolutely. You know? Everything's just so subjective and it depends on your situation and all that bullshit too, so. Damn. We'll get that corner one of these days. Essentially, you're by the motor and non-entire pedal setup. Interesting. I mean, those in general is crazy low pricing. Yeah. And I wonder why their pricing is that low, you know? I mean, just kind of business 101. If the market tells you you can sell your product for X, why would you sell it for 50% of X? I mean, I understand some of the easy answers to that, right? Market share, things like that. Because you can. But I don't know. I wonder. Oh, we got a good run out of there. Yeah, I think that's part of it. But then it's like you can't go up, right? You can't raise your prices in the future once you got people into your ecosystem. Because getting people in your ecosystem is good, but it's not like you're putting other people out of business and creating a monopoly to then be able to raise your prices. So they're just going to keep the prices low forever? Can they sustain that? I don't know. And if they can't sustain it, why? Is it because everybody else is just that overpriced? You know, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. It could mean other things too, for sure. I see, feels so hooked up. Much better. Drop the R12 down to 400. And what would the R12 be equivalent to? Is that like a Simucube 2 Pro? Sport? I don't know. Like, that's the thing too. Like, when I bought all my stuff, none of these products existed. Or I should say, when I bought my wheelbase, my original pedal set, my chassis. There you go. 8.8. Moza, Ace-Tech. These companies didn't exist. Back then it was Simucube, Fanatec, you know. I actually almost bought a DD2 originally. Ended up getting Simucube. Glad I did. Less of a sport. 12 is 12. Oh, I see. So, what about the slew rate? That's the big thing between like I mean, certainly a power difference between the Sport and the Pro, but that slew rate, man, I think that's a big difference in the way the feedback is kind of delivered. Ace, yeah, I don't know any of those product lines. Ace Attack, I don't know any of them. I'm jealous of the people that are coming into this in the last 2 years, or even a year. Because you really do have so many awesome options available to you that just did not exist 5 years ago.
9.2.
Still, I mean, still a huge discount. It's even close to a Simucube 2 Sport, you know? It's like half off. Not get quite the run there. Sure, we're also running into a little bit of tire wear. Lap 11. Saying I got about 20 to go, so 32 laps on a tank of fuel. This is a short lap.
9.1.
So it's 4.46. Like, yeah, that's the big difference between the Pro and the Sport. Other than the fact that it's got stronger Newton meters. But I don't barely use half of the Newton meters available on the Pro. Frankly, I don't need that workout, you know? Or I don't want it. I probably do need it. Interesting. Yeah, from my experience, well, experience is the wrong word. From what I've understood, it's really those two things that are the difference between the Sport and the Pro. And I think Will from Boosted Media did a video recently where he went back over, because it's funny, like these days nobody makes videos on Simucube anymore because it's Moza and Ace Attack and all these other companies coming out with new products, you know. But anyway, he did a video where he talked about all three of the Simucube bases again and kind of went through and did a full review on all of them. He gets into the details between the difference between the Sport and the Pro. Maybe my memory's a little hazy, but I feel like that's basically what it was. Definitely worth a look if you're even remotely interested in that space, I guess. Whew. Alright boys, I feel pretty damn comfortable with this car. And I think we know that my IMSA season in this league is not going to be dictated by the bop. It's gonna be, can I be comfortable with the car, not flat spot like not flat spot, but can I not lock up like crazy, wreck the car, do stupid things? It's all about comfort for me here. Yeah, I agree with that statement, man. It's kind of like, I saw somebody asking about a Simucube 3, and it's like, I don't even know what the hell they would do. Honestly. It's like, what would they introduce to these bases that they don't already do, like, exceptionally well? It's best in class for a reason, you know? But also can't compare it to anything. So maybe I shouldn't say anything. Went from an R5 to an R9 V2. Doubt I'll need to upgrade anytime soon. Yeah, that's the cool thing, man. I mean, truly, it is so cool that there are so many options available. Because it just was not the case. 824 was clean. That felt awesome, man. Optimal was an 8.375. Let's see a sweet deal. Yeah, always got to be bargaining, bargain hunting, man. For sure. Okay. Porsche is definitely the winner tonight, gents. No doubt about that. Slew rate is specific to Simucube. Interesting. Interesting. God, look at that car. Just looks so good. Come on. I do love the way this car looks. And of course, we have an awesome livery for it too. Got all the partners on there. Livery looks sick. That'll make for some really nice thumbnails for the season, don't y'all think? It's badass, man. Got my helmet in there. It's even got my name on it. They made helmets for us. Kind of see it. Hard to see, but yeah. I dig it, dude. The guy that does our liveries does a phenomenal job. Yeah, I'm only going to do it in this league. When it comes to like official races, man, I'm just going to do the GT3s. So, yeah, basically what I did last season, I ran Precision Racing League. And I ran two different series within that giant league. And one of them was the GT3 Sprint, which is like their super competitive GT3 field. And then the other is they call it the GTP GT3. So I call it IMSA. But I ran GT3, and so I thought it'd be cool just to shake it up. So that's why I'm going to do GTP this season. But that's the one, the IMSA series is the one where I don't practice at all. I literally just show up when the practice session opens for the league race that night, get in as many laps as I can possibly get in to get up to speed with the track and just to get after it. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that this year or this season because I'm not driving the car like, you know, like all season. Like last season I drove the Corvette GT3 in both series. So I had a lot more comfort in the Corvette. And so I was able to just kind of easily jump in and just figure out the track out before the race started and then get after it. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do this year. So the team, SimCity Racing, one of the guys on the team makes all the liveries. Really like 2 or 3 of the guys do some work. One guy does I think bulk of the work. So we've got liveries for damn near everything, pretty much. But yeah, good stuff. How long have we been going for? Oh my god, 2 hours almost. I was not planning that at all. I can't believe it's almost 11 o'clock. I'll tell you, man, I get to talking and I just don't shut up. Yeah, good custom loot. Yeah, absolutely. 410s. I'm gonna need those 410s. I have no clue. Let's see if I can find one actually. I have no clue what a good lap is at Road Atlanta in that car. I'm guessing it ain't what I was doing. But nagging girlfriend. There you go. Yeah, it's gotta balance it out, man. Gotta balance it out. I'm surprised I haven't seen a GT3 race. Yeah, I don't do a ton of them. I need to get back to it. It's been a minute since I've done an official race, unfortunately. Ooh, here we go. All right, so Target was a lot cooler. 3% off, 2 seconds. Holy shit. Let's see, 4/10 in turn 1. Oh my god, look how much more I'm braking. Wow, that's massive. 2 and 3. Letting off too late. Interesting. They're just getting a much better run out. Oh, I see. That's turn 3. Yeah, of course. Turn 5. Almost 3.5 tenths. I was gonna say almost 4, but 3.5 tenths. I'm actually going too deep. Interesting. And I'm braking too hard. It's gonna be a learning process this season. Decent through 6 and 7. Getting too hard on the throttle there, it looks like. Which means I have to brake a little harder than I'd like to for 7, which is critical. And they're able to get back on it pretty fast. Interesting. Straight, whatever. Oh my god. 4/10 in the bus stop. Good grief. So I'm braking way too early. Wait, how am I braking too early? I feel like I'm braking late as shit every time I go through that corner. I feel like... Okay, they're attacking it a little bit more than I am. Where is the braking stopping? So they're doing the predominant amount of braking still in a straight line. They're not like angling towards the apex or anything until they start to trail off. So, okay. Weird. Weird. I'm getting on it a little too much and then have to get off of it. To then get back on it. And again, thinking that's like a 7-degree difference in track time, that is definitely a big gap. Damn. That's huge. That really is a huge gap. Again, I know the track's a lot cooler, but still, that's a big gap. 2 seconds on a 1 minute 8 second lap. But yeah, we'll have some fun with it, man. I think there's not a lot of people signed up for precision for this, the GTPs, unfortunately. It's pretty light on that. Let's see. Yeah, it's only 13 people signed up for the GTP class. And there's 36 people signed up for the GT3s. There's a part of me that feels like I just need to go to the GT3s and suck it up. But I'm going to hold strong. Brake pads do you run? Get better rotation, trail braking when using the softs. Honestly, I just use the fixed setup. So that's another kind of key point. I was not using the VRS setup. I was just using fixed. It really was about just trying to get a feel. How does a car feel? Which one did I connect with better in a baseline situation? It was definitely the Porsche. So yeah, I mean, I need to go back through and actually care about pace and put on the right setup and all that stuff. But that'll be for another night, I think. Hey, maybe I'm watching your vids. Just saw you're doing the GTP, GT3. I'll be racing GT3 first time doing anything. Awesome, dude. Very cool. I'd like to think that you found them through me. I'll take some credit for that. I hope you enjoy it. This is PRL does a great job for sure. And this series can be a little wild because of the multi-class, and I'm probably going to wreck you at some point, and I completely apologize in advance. It's not intentional. I'm just an idiot. And yeah, it gets a little wild because of the multi-class, but it is a lot of fun. And last season, the GT3 group was freaking loaded and super competitive, and honestly, I had a great time running that series. I kind of wish I was running it again. But as of right now, I'm not. So yeah, fixed setups are not great for GTP. Yeah, I'm sure. I think I just wanted to have something that was similar. And so, kind of maybe a mistake on my part. I just looked at the schedule for the season and tried to find something that was kind of like I was familiar with. Right, so Road America or Road Atlanta, I know decently well, and just felt like a pretty decent benchmark track, just to kind of. Had some fast corners, some chicanes, slow corners, all that sort of stuff. A little bit of elevation action. So you just kind of use it as a basic benchmark. This is truly, I've driven the Caddy and the Daytona 24 back this past season, or this past year, I guess. But honestly, past that, you just watched me run my first laps in a GTP car, like, kind of, in a long time at least. So... That's just me trying to get a handle on how they feel. Take a couple notes. Not too focused on the lap time. Really just focused on how it feels. And that Porsche really felt good. I guess I'll need to do it again with like some VRS sets. But I loaded up the Acura first, and it didn't have a set for me to download. So I'm not sure what season this lap was from. Actually, kind of has me wondering now. This was back in April. So yeah. What was that? It must have been season 2. Yeah, season 2. So just everything about that's different. I mean, the track, yeah, an April track versus an August track, very, very different. Matthew, just looking forward to it. Any tips for you? I was going to do the fixed setup, but only have Thursdays free. I don't know much about setups. Honestly, yeah, I think I wouldn't worry too much about setups. I think most people are going to be running something like, VRS, Hymo, you know, one of the shops, right? So if you have any of those, just, it's way more about comfort and just being consistent, honestly. I think it's easy to get caught up in trying to find like one lap pace, but a race isn't one lap, you know? And especially actually this season, those races are going from 40 or 45 minutes to 60-minute races. So somebody bumbling down the stairs. It's gonna matter big time your race pace over the course of a 60-minute race distance. So honestly, my 2 cents for success in that specific series is going to be learn how to deal with the GTPs. They could easily make or break your race. I'm going to be one of them. I'm going to do my best to be a good boy and not hurt any of the GT3s, because all I did was bitch about the GTPs last season. So I'm going to do my best to be a good citizen and do the right thing. But at the end of the day, I'm sure there's going to be some nasty dive bombs and things, because that's just multi-class racing. But I think a lot of it is get comfortable with the GTPs, understand how to, be predictable, how to get past efficiently, if that makes sense. Like, last thing you want to do in your race or any of the classes is get past in a way where you lose a shit ton of time, or pass a person where you have to lose a lot of time. Like, trying to be efficient with those overtakes is really important for your overall race. And just focus on consistency. It's a whole lot more important to be consistent over the course of 60 minutes than it is to just be awesome at one hot lap. Now that said, qualifying is really important in this league, really most leagues, but especially this one, because it's going to be pretty competitive. So if you can start ahead of 5 cars, it's 5 less cars you have to pass, right? And with GT3 cars don't have much draft, if any, and so as a result, it's qualifying's important. It's nice to start ahead of guys, you don't have to pass them later on. So track position's always key in those cars, it seems like. But at the end of the day, man, if it's your first league experience, just have fun. It's so much fun. Just have fun. That's all that matters, I think for me, what I like about leagues so much is I feel like it tells a story. You really get to like kind of think about where you were at the very beginning of the season, and how much progress you made throughout the course of the season, or really cool moments that happened, or maybe you fight all season, you get that podium in like the 8th race of the season or something like that. There's something to that you don't get in official races and all that. You practice during the week and you get ready for one race and you got one start at it, and there's just something about league racing that is just super cool. So think about the story you'll be able to tell over the course of the season and just have a lot of fun with it. At the end of the day, it's a game. And if you're hyper competitive, like probably most of the people in the field, all good. Be super competitive, but be competitive with yourself. Find ways to, look to improve, or set goals for yourself if that's something you want to do, and kind of do whatever you want with it, But yeah, it's always the thing about like the LMP3 to GT4 and then like the GTP to GT3, the speed difference that you're about to experience with these GTPs jumping up your ass is unbelievable. Like they are so much faster than the GT3s. It's insane. And it does cause problems. It will cause problems. You will get pissed off by GTP. You're probably going to get pissed off by me. I am probably going to piss you off. You're going to come in my Discord after the race and be like, bro, what the fuck? And I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry. I know I'm an idiot. I apologize. You know, it's going to happen. Like, the cars are so much faster. You're going to catch us. You know, GTP is going to catch somebody in a terrible spot. And it just, that's the nature of the beast, you know? But yeah, at the end of the day, just have a good time. Yeah, exactly. Have fun and learn. You're going to learn from a lot of people. You're going to meet a lot of people. Everybody in that league last season was very chill, very nice. Like I said, truly, in the GTP class, there was no competition. Pat ran away with that thing, and it wasn't even close. In the GT3 class, there was this insane competition, like all the way to the end. I don't know if I have it anymore. Drive. Wish I could find. That is the sprint. Let me see if I can find the results. I'll show you this real quick if you haven't seen it. If you're curious about how competitive it was. Yeah, here we go. So this is GTP. I mean, he beat everybody by 61 points. He ran 9 races. He won 8 of them. Right? Like, there was no competition. He just crushed everybody. Now in GT3, super competitive. Between the top 4 guys, we were all, I mean, Brett was definitely the class of the GT3 field. That is certainly true. I mean, you can see he won 5 of the 9 races. But you look at here between like 2, 3, and 4, the 3 of us were like, we were right there together. I mean, even, and also Eric. Yeah, definitely Jake. Also Eric. And there's some guys that were in here like Corey. He's in my Discord. He look at his finishes. They were insane. If he had actually gone to all the races, he easily would have been competing at the very top as well. So yeah, this was super tight. I mean, look at this. So I finished, I don't know why I can't highlight it, but I finished 3rd. I missed 1 race because I was on vacation. So I ran 8 of the 9 and I finished in the top 5 in all 8 races, and I finished 3rd. You know, I had no penalty points, none of that. So think about that. Like, I finished in the top 5 in every single race that I raced in. I won one of the races, and I still finished 3rd overall. So just, I think that is a great way to show you how competitive the GT3 field was. But yeah, and I think it's going to be even more competitive. All these guys are back. I don't have, I've seen Ted yet. I think all these other guys I've seen sign up, and I've seen other guys that have some pretty high hours that have signed up as well. So I think it's going to be even more competitive this coming season. So y'all have fun killing each other in GT3. I'm going to go race with the 12 dudes in GTP and just try to dodge you guys when I come through at about 400 miles an hour. So that's my plan for this season, in case you were wondering. So anyway, cool. Trying to watch those streams to learn. Yeah, dude, take a look. I think some of those races are really fun. Really fun. Just to shake it up. Honestly, I'm kind of regretting the choice if you haven't noticed, but I think just to change it up a little bit. I had a lot of fun with the GT3, but I also race in the PRL, the GT3 Sprint series, which is like their premier series. And honestly, man, that's a lot. There's a lot of pressure in those races. All of my teammates running that series, it just feels more pressure to do well. And I just felt like I treated the IMSA series as just literally a show and go. Wouldn't practice before. I would just show up for the practice session attached to the race and then just figure it out there and go. And so I didn't really take it super seriously. I just showed up and had a good time. And So I thought, well, why the hell not? Let's go for GTP. We'll learn the car over the course of the year. I think it'll be really fun content for people that watch my live races to watch that progression over the course of the season. Because I think I'm gonna suck ass hard in week 1. It's gonna be bad. I assure you, by week 9, I will be much better in that car. And so I think it'll be really fun to watch that progression. I think it'll be cool. It'll tell a cool story. And I think for me, it'll be good growth just to expand and try different cars. And, you know, it'll help me. It'll make me better all around, I think. So I'm going to go for that and just have some fun with it. But yeah, cool. All right, boys and girls, if there are any out here watching, I've been live for 2 hours, which frankly, I was not planning on that. So I'm going to take my happy self to bed. One more work day until we're all off for about 3 days. Well, I guess all the Americans. And yeah. Trying to join a team, a good idea. Figuring it might be cool to work with someone. Just run solo. I think if you can find a team, definitely. It can't hurt you. I didn't run as a team in the IMSA series. It can't hurt. It's always nice to have friends, you know, and somebody that you can work with, talk to, practice with. You know, it always leads to more. It's like, maybe we'll do the special events next season together or whatever. It's just always cool to have friends, so that never hurts. And I would also say, I think there's a couple of guys that are signed up for this series that are in my Discord, and there's a couple of them. I know Bryce is in there. Peter might be in there. Well, Corey's not in here. I'm surprised. But yeah, I'd say there's at least 1 or 2 guys that are in there that, you know, they might be cool with joining up with you and doing that. So yeah, week 13. I know, dude. I'm also trying to not race official, so I keep my I rating below 3K so that I can be an amateur in the sprint series again next season. So I'm kind of like waiting. But yeah, take a gander. It's in the description. The link is in the description. So if you're interested, feel free. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. It was really nice to get back out here and do a little streaming. It's literally been like, I don't know what it's been, 2 weeks basically since my last league race. So I have enjoyed myself, chilling, taking some time off, playing some World of Warcraft. That has been a lot of fun, if I'm honest. But I'm really fired up for the new season to start. So hope you guys are ready for some races. We still got a couple weeks. I don't think PRL starts until like mid-September. I think like September 17th, something like this, like a week after my birthday. So I think we start around there. And but I'll be back certainly before then. Of course, maybe a little bit more sporadic than I am during the season. But thank y'all for watching. I do genuinely appreciate you. If you like what you're watching, subscribe to the channel. I'll post race videos. I stream all my league races. And I'm just a genuinely nice person to talk to, if I do say so myself. So I hope y'all had fun. I certainly did too. Until next time, deuces.